Good morning, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. And if you would like the services of the public defender, I will gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. I'll solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Terry Spencer. Morning, Mr. Spencer. What's your date of birth?
3187.
All right, Mr. Spencer, the charge is battery. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint an attorney from the public defender's office?
Private counsel.
All right. And state, what do you got?
He doesn't have anything in Florida, but he has an Oklahoma firearm charge that I don't know the resolution of.
Okay.
2017, and an older 2007. I'm not sure what it is in Oklahoma.
All right. Hey, Terry, I've got an address for you on Bondview Lane in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
Almost 3 years.
All right. Does Mr. Powell live there too?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I just had a double hip replacement. I can't work yet.
Okay. How long has Mr. Powell lived there?
2 years.
Okay. Terry, what is the chance if I let you go back there that you and Mr. Powell are going to mix it up again?
We normally don't get into it, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you go home. I'm going to set a bond and let you go home, but if you guys get in any trouble again, then you're going to wind up back in jail without bond. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, can we ask for no alcohol as a condition?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that either, but I understand what you're doing. Okay. So, Terry, I'll set the bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that if you have contact with Mr. Powell, it has to be peaceful contact. That means any contact that you have with him must be described as peaceful, so much as raising your voice could result in you back in jail without a bond. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. We'll have you back in court on the 22nd of May. When you contact your attorney, make sure he knows about that court date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert Hardiman. Sorry. Morning, Robert. Date of birth?
March 23rd, 1980.
Robert, I got two warrants. The first one is signed by Judge Maris. The second one is signed by Judge Toner. Those are both for failing to appear. And then we have new arrest for driving on a suspended license and unregistered motor vehicle. There's probable cause for those. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. Judge Merritt set your bond at no bond. I'm not going to change that. You'll be back in front of him on the 26th of May. Judge Toner set your bond at no bond. Do we need to send him back to Judge Toner on that one, or can we send them both to Merritt?
Which case is older, the Merritt case? Whoever has the case first.
The Merritt case is older, yes. Send it
Unless
there.
he has to be arraigned in front of Judge Toner first, I don't know how that.
Well, let's send it to Merritt and let him figure it out.
Yes.
I'll have both cases, both the felonies then, I'll have back on the 26th of May. And let's see. But they're both no bond. And then on the misdemeanor charges, I'll leave those at $500 on each count. I'll have those back on the 20th of May. And a public defender will come see you before you go to court, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, it says Pasco County's agency. Are we picking people up now from other counties? Or?
No, they're just telling us that he has a warrant there.
Oh,
They haven't
it is.
served
Okay.
it.
So there's a whole, all right.
Yep, doesn't mean a thing anymore. Ashton Posey. Morning, Mr. Posey. What's your date of birth?
4191.
Ashton, you're hearing a warrant signed by Judge Toner. Apparently, he thinks you failed to appear in his court on a possession of controlled substance and possession of medicinal drug back in December. As to those charges, Ashton, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Yes, sir. I'm supposed to have a state's attorney present in court today to talk to you about those charges.
The state attorney?
The state's attorney, Miss Weisner.
Miss who?
Weisner? Celia Weisner?
Nope.
No, I need, I don't know what I'm doing then. I was brought in here on false pretenses and, I need to contact somebody to find out what's going on.
You weren't brought here on false pretenses. You were brought here on an arrest warrant.
Yeah, I mean, what I meant was that the court has been sending my, mail to the wrong address. I have proof of that.
Guess where they got that address?
Where?
From you.
No, I put apartment, I'm sorry,
What's your address?
13460. You got me so flustered right now.
I hardly said a word. You were doing all the talking.
Because this is all a mistake, like a paperwork mistake, and I tried to make it back to Toner's court, and the date got changed without me finding out, so I got an FTA on that.
Okay.
And
Well, okay.
I never ran.
Ashton, let me just tell you what I see, all right? Because I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm just here to tell you there's a warrant. And on the
Yes,
paperwork I have, it shows your address is 15825 Homewood Lane. On the bottom of page, hang on, don't interrupt me now. I'm trying to tell you what I got. On the bottom of page 3, where you signed your name, you wrote 15825 Homewood Lane. The warrant says 15825 Homewood Lane. That's all I'm looking at, okay? So, now, before we go into this any further, and believe me, there's nothing I'd rather do, because they're not giving me much to do lately, and sit around and chat about this. But I can't today, because this is a felony case, and they don't let me handle these cases, because they're too hard for me. So, all I can do is tell you that the warrant says no bond. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to send you back to see Judge Toner on the 20th of May. In between now and then, if you tell me you want the public defender, they can come out and talk to you and try to clear this up. Do you want the public defender?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Brian Velez. Morning, Brian. What's your date of birth?
9691.
Very good. Brian, I got 5 charges today. Driving under the influence, resisting without violence, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving on a suspended license, and operating an unregistered motor vehicle. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I would like a public defender,
I'll
please.
appoint the PD. State, what do you got?
So it looks like there's a bunch of arrests, but not very many convictions. He's got a 2018 delinquency for burglary,
Looks like there's a prior DUI in
a resisting
2017.
without. Let's see. He has a battery in 2018.
Okay. Brian, I got an address for you on Dean Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
6 years.
Do you have a job these days?
I was working at Cheddar Scratch Kitchen, but because of the coronavirus, I'm not really working right now.
Okay.
A lot of it's shut down.
Okay. All right. On the DUI, I'm going to set the bond at $1,000. On the other 4 charges at $500. That's then going to be a total of $3,000. You'll be back in court on the 22nd of May. Very important that you contact the public defender if you get out, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I have a bond?
Yeah, your bond is $3,000 total.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thomas Peterson?
Yes, sir.
Morning, Thomas. Date of birth?
12/9/64.
All right, Thomas, I got 2 issues. The first is a grand theft. There's probable cause for that, and then it appears you're currently on felony probation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And so we got a probable cause arrest for the VOP. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on the VOP is going to be no bond, of course. I'll leave the bond on the theft at $2,000. And then we'll send both of these cases back to court on the 20th of May. Looks like they told you the 26th. The right day is the 20th. And the PD will come see you before you go to court, okay?
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you. Michael Morales Acosta. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
August 2nd, 2000.
All right. You're here on a warrant out of Hillsborough County. The judge that signed that warrant thinks you failed to appear on a criminal charge. Looks like driving on a suspended license. And he or she set your bond at $2,500. At the moment, I can't change that. If you can post that bond, Michael, then you can get out of jail here, go down to Tampa, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post that bond, I can't make you any promises about when Hillsborough is likely to come because of the situation with the pandemic. But it could be a while. So just letting you know that until they're ready to come and get you, you would sit here if you can't post that bond. So work hard to get that bond posted, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Danielle Maris.
Yes, sir.
Morning, young lady. What's your date of birth?
I'm sorry.
What's your date of birth?
9/24/01.
Danielle, I've got 2 charges today, possession of controlled substance and possession of marijuana. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, do you wish to represent yourself? You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender. State what you got.
No convictions.
Okay. Young lady, I have an address for you on Hallow Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
7 years.
All right. Still live with your folks?
Yes.
Do they know where you are this morning?
Nope.
Okay. Is it going to matter when they find out?
I tried calling. No one would let me call them yesterday.
Okay. And what have you been doing with yourself lately? You working or going to school? What's going on?
Well, I was supposed to go to Job Corps, but now I got arrested, so I can't.
Okay. All right. On the controlled substance, they'll set your bond at $500. On the possession of marijuana at ROR, so your total is $500. You'll be back in court on the 26th of May. When you get out, make sure you contact the PD's office right away, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
Very good. Good luck. Rachel Giovannetti. Incoming. Morning, miss. What's your date of birth?
8/22/78.
All right. Rachel, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. State what you got.
She has some prior thefts and a drop battery in 2017. Also a couple Velezes. Looks like she had PTI for grand theft in 2007.
Okay. And Rachel, I have an address for you on Baltimore Street in Weeki Watch. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
4 years.
And do you live with Sean?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. How many kids you got?
I have 3.
Okay. All right, Rachel, I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond, however, is that you're going to have no contact with Sean while this charge is pending. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through social media, you don't have a third person contact him, you don't go where he lives, you don't go where he works, you don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked, and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run away. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That is not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office or contact them and tell them he doesn't want you charged, that he doesn't want to proceed with this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case or your lawyer tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I've got to hold it today up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to get a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you'd get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as that house on Baltimore Street is concerned, as long as Sean is staying there, you're going to have to stay someplace else until we get this case resolved. You can go by one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay. In order to do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They would meet you there with a deputy who would stand by while you picked up your things and got going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on the 22nd of May. Very important that you reach out to the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Manuel de la Cruz Perez. Jail, do we notice he need the interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, have him sit back down. I'll do the other one, and then I'll get the interpreter on the line.
Okay.
Bailey Smith.
Yeah, I'm come over here.
Okay. Morning, Bailey. What's your date of birth?
07/28/03.
Bailey, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County. The judge that signed the warrant found probable cause for one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and set your bond at $10,000. I can't change that, unfortunately. If you're able to post that bond, you could get out of jail here, go down to Newport Richie, find out when they want you in court. If you're not able to post that bond, I can't make you any sort of estimate about how long you might wait in jail here. Because of the pandemic, we're not doing a lot of transfers. It might be that Pasco would come to get you, but I can't promise you they would, all right?
Sir, I talked to my PO and he actually told me that the charges were pending and he moved my court date from, I don't remember the last one, but it was, April 26th, and then because of coronavirus, they moved it to June 4th.
Okay.
And I was supposed to go to court for both of those pending charges.
Okay, all pending means is you've been charged. This is a warrant, okay? So whatever was going on, there now is a warrant, and that's why you're here, and you're going to have to go to Pasco to sort it out. So whoever it is you've spoken to in the past, you gotta speak to them again and find out what's going on, okay?
Do they pick me up?
I don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you, baby. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't be there more than a day or so with Pasco County, but there's not a lot of transport going on, occasionally, I guess, but I can't make you any promises. I can't order them to come get you. I don't know when they might come get you, but if I were you, I'd reach out to whoever you were talking to before and talk to them again, all right?
So I'm like, can my mom come get me and I go to Pasco?
Nope. All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay. I need Ryan.
Okay, I'll go with them right now.
Thank you much. Okay.
Your Honor, would you like to see Abdallah, the add-on?
Yeah, if you've got them. Is this yours, Rick?
It is, Judge. It's just for clarification. No, it is, because his mother calling me.
Yes, ma'am.
I have Ryan on check.
Okay,
You
put
stand right here. Just look at the TV.
Ryan, hang on a sec, okay? All right, Mr. Abdallah?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Shaw?
Yes, Judge. I just really had to bring back for clarification. Got in this morning and his mother had a phone message for me. I haven't had a chance to call her back. He was before you on April 23rd and you RCO'd him.
Okay.
And the misdemeanor was a March 22nd. It was a battery citation that was issued. And then he picked up the felony charge, which was an April 22nd arrest. I mean, does that what you reflect?
If you say so, okay.
Okay, all right. But, so it was your intent to RCO him on your,
Oh, even though it was an NTA, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
so,
Yeah, and the case law supports that.
but, so he's coming back, looks like he'll come back on May 15th. Is it possible to address a bond before the 15th?
Has he resolved the other case?
No, it's still pending. He comes back on his burglary of conveyance on May 20th.
Yeah, if you want to do a motion, I'll hear it whenever you're ready, yeah.
I'm saying if we got the RCO, if we got him bonded on that, then maybe he could come up and post a bond.
Right?
Okay.
Right, yeah, I would definitely, I'll hear, you know how we're doing things, Ray. Anytime you got something, I'm happy to hear it when I'm here. So,
Right,
I will not be doing first appearance next week, but certainly the week after.
All right.
And my guess is if you were talked real nice, you could probably get in front of Judge Helitz too. So Mark, what he's saying is he's trying to get you a bond motion, to see if we can get you a bond on the case where you're being held without bond right now. Sounds like he'll be doing that very soon, okay?
Your Honor, if I could speak.
Sure.
I have a sick mother out there. My fiance, who is homeless, along with my sick mother. You know, I just, as soon as possible, Your Honor, I just had gotten hired on 800 Continental Drive or Boulevard, or whatever it is, doing the complex or whatever they're doing over there. I really gotta get home to my family. Like, I understand that the charges that are against me are serious charges, you know what I mean, and I'll have my day in court. But if we could please set a bond today, please.
I can't do it today. I understand the way a bond motion works is he has to do it in writing. The state has to have 3 days notice. So obviously Mr. Shaw is working on it. Things are unusual here. That's why you're here today, because he wants to make sure he can get it in and that I'm okay with that. And the answer was yes. So as soon as possible, we'll do it. Okay. And I'll tell you what, Ray, even next week, if I know ahead of time, if I know with 24 hours advance notice that you want to hear it, I'll make sure I'm here and we'll hear it.
Okay, I'll do that.
So we'll get it in sometime next week, all right, Mark?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you bet. Okay, and then can I have Mr. Dela Cruz? Hi, Ryan. How you doing?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Good. This gentleman has a warrant out of Hillsborough County. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Buenos días, será su intérprete de inglés. Todo lo que usted diga en español lo voy a repetir en inglés. Todo lo que diga el juez en inglés se lo repito para usted en español. Y yo solamente soy intérprete, no soy abogado, no me puedo intermeter de ninguna forma. Así que repito exactamente lo que se dice. ¿Bien?
Sí.
Mr. Dela Cruz, what is your date of birth?
Señor de la Cruz, ¿cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
5 de marzo de 1997.
March 5th, 1997.
Sir, you're here on a warrant out of Hillsborough County.
Señor, usted está acá por una orden de detención del condado de Hillsborough.
The judge that signed the warrant believes that you failed to appear on a charge of driving under the influence.
El juez que firmó la orden piensa que usted no compareció en una orden de detención por manejar bajo los efectos.
The judge set your bond at $5,000.
Ese juez le fijó la fianza en $5,000.
I cannot change that bond.
Yo no puedo cambiar esa fianza.
If you're able to post the bond, then you should go to Tampa and find out when they want you in court.
Si usted puede depositar la fianza y salir, usted debe de ir a Tampa y averiguar cuándo lo quieren ver en el tribunal.
If you cannot post the bond, then you unfortunately may be in our jail for some time because Hillsborough is not transporting inmates into the pandemic.
Si usted no puede depositar la fianza, entonces desafortunadamente pueda que usted esté en nuestra cárcel por algún tiempo, porque el Hillsborough no está transportando a los reclusos, los reos, dado al pandémico.
You understand, sir?
¿Entiende usted, señor?
Sí, señor.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Muchísimas gracias.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day. Interpreter signing off.